So we're in a 2013 Audi Q5, and in this video I wanted to go over how to use the MMI system in a newer Audi. So the MMI system is Audi's term for its infotainment system, and it's consistent across the entire model lineup. And so starting in about 2008, 2009, they began using this system. They've made some changes to it over the years. So anyway, I want to just kind of go over the basics of how to use this system. Now, there are a few ways that you can control things. You've got this knob here that you can kind of turn and push on, but then we've also got buttons around the entire perimeter here that we can use. And so there's a number of ways to get around to various locations, and so you just have multiple options. So first of all, down here on the bottom, and this is a little bit different on some of the Audis, but down here on the bottom we've got a menu button, a back button, and a car button. So right now we're in the main menu. So if you click on this button, it brings you to this main menu, and then you can scroll, and the scroll is actually kind of opposite of what you would expect it to be. So like if I go left, it comes down to this side, so it sort of follows what's on the screen, but it's the opposite of what you might have on your smartphone, and so it can be a little confusing. But anyway, you can scroll through the different options using this guy from the main menu. Easier than that, you're typically going to use these four buttons that are on the perimeter. So we've got for one for navigation, telephone, radio, media. So for example, up here on the screen we've got the navigation button, so we can scroll to there and then push down on this button, and that'll take us to the navigation. Or let's say we go back to radio, we can get to navigation by pushing that navigation button again. So typically it's going to be easier just to use these buttons that are on the perimeter. So to get to navigation, you would use that button, and then you can see in the corners of the screen you've got a route, info, settings, and destination. Now to select one of those four options, again you've got these four silver buttons that are on the perimeter of this knob, and so you can click on any of those to choose where you're going. So let's say we want to choose a destination. You'd click on this bottom left, and then it brings up the destination menu where we could then enter an address. You could go to some of your last destinations, you could look for a point of interest, you can look at the map, favorites, so various options there. So let's say we click on the address, you could go here, you could put in a street address, and get to that location. So then let's say that, let's go to telephone now. So you'd click this bottom left button. Same thing, it brings up a menu with various options. You could look at dial numbers, missed calls, received calls, voicemail, and so you click on any of those to place a call. So let's say that you had a missed call, you could go into this option, click on missed calls, and then click on one of those phone numbers. On the left side here, or right side here, we've got the radio button. So radio brings up all of the radio stations that are available. Again, you've got these four in the corners. So let's say we want to go to our presets, which I've got programmed. You click on this top left button and it'll bring up the preset options that I have available, and you can scroll through those with this knob here to choose the station that you want. If you're, say we're listening to 99.7, you could be clicked listening to that station. To get to 104.1, you're going to have to, sorry, it jumped again, so 99.7, to get to 104.1 you're going to have to scroll and push on this guy to get 104.1. But if you use this button over here, which is the control for the volume, you can just scroll back and forth between radio stations by just kind of tapping left or right on that. So that's how you use the radio. And then if we click on media, that'll bring up some of your other options. So you could go to import functions or source, click on source, and I could connect to my phone and listen to that through the Bluetooth. If I had a CD or DVD in there, I could do that. We've got a SD, let's see, there we go. So we've got SIM card and two SD slots, so if I had anything on a memory card, I could put those in there and I could choose those options. Again, you can scroll through those options here. So pretty simple as far as that goes. And then we've got the car button. Click on the car button. This brings you to the drive select. Again, there's multiple ways to do all of this, so you can either do that through this system. The other option that you've got is just pressing this drive select button to choose the option that you want. Now, I've mentioned drive select in some of my other videos. We've got comfort, auto, and dynamic. So comfort, you've got a little looser steering. Acceleration is going to be a little more fuel economy oriented and smooth. Dynamic is going to be more aggressive with shifting. Steering is going to be a little stiffer. Auto mode is going to adjust based off your driving style, and then individual, you can click on that guy and you could choose the setups that you like. So so that would select the individual. If you want to set up individual, you can go to the bottom right here. And what I prefer is the engine transmission just shifting normal under comfort mode. Suspension, I like it a little bit stiffer, so I leave that in dynamic, and I like the steering to be stiff. So I've got those both stiff, and then engine transmission just shifting normal under the comfort mode. And so when I select individual, it chooses one of those. If you wanted to change that, you could just click on this, and then you could scroll to do auto or dynamic. So pretty simple with that, and you can push on that guy to make it work. So then you got this back button that'll take us back through the steps that we've made back to the main menu. So pretty simple as far as that goes. So that's just kind of a general overview of how to use the MMI system. It can be a little intimidating getting into an Audi and seeing how many buttons and knobs there are, and you know, it's nice that they give you multiple options to do various things, you know, like with the drive select, being able to use this or using these buttons and going through the screen. But it also can be a little confusing that there's more than one way to do that. And so anyway, just kind of an overview of how to use the system. If you've got any comments, leave them in the section below. If there's something that you're wondering how to do it, you can leave that in the comments, and I'll try to do my best to answer that. For more videos of the Audi Q5, subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and take care.